Show, don't tell. This is probably one of the most famous and important literary techniques. Despite how simple it is, showing something instead of telling it straight up sets up for a ton of complexity within writing. Picture this. Character A tells character C that there's this great hero that lived very long ago and is very kind, compassionate, and all these other great things. This is where showing said qualities is important, because if you just tell the qualities, it's boring. You don't get to see those factors firsthand. Showing something can also be helpful to a person interpreting something on their own. When you tell something, you basically allow for barely any room for your audience's perspective. As a result, it kind of results in the reader's intelligence being insulted, as instead of being shown something and allowing them to process, think, and immerse themselves in what exactly they were shown, they're just blatantly told the answer and there's no type of thinking to it. This brings me to Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles. This game has zero dialogue, yet managed to tell a very intricate and deep story without reliance on a manual for the time. How so? Well, this is what we'll be answering in this video. I'll be discussing the beauty of show don't tell in Sonic games, with Sonic 3 being a prime example. I'll also be throwing Sonic Advance 2 as a small bonus. Alright, let's stop wasting time and get on with it. The first cutscene of Sonic 3 is brilliant. You see the dynamic duo, Sonic and Tails, flying their tornado. Sonic, with the 7 Chaos Emeralds in possession, turns into Super Sonic and glides across the ocean as Tails follows behind. This first section alone is great. You're briefly introduced to your main two characters, and you see their personality based on how they get to their destination. With Tails piloting, you can assume he's very intelligent and mechanically sound. Sonic, meanwhile, standing on top of the plane itself and then jumping afterwards to transform, you can assume he's very cool and impatient. Who else just stands on top of a plane, purposely jumps off, and then flies it right to their destination. In other words, it's like an early version of the first SA2 cutscene. Additionally, if you played the other games, Tails and the Chaos Emeralds show continuity, as Tails debuted in Sonic 2 and the Chaos Emeralds in Sonic 1. After this, a strange red creature bursts out the ground and easily knocks Sonic out of his super form. With Sonic caught off guard, this guy steals the 7 Chaos Emeralds, chuckles, and then runs off. The fact that he knocks Sonic out of his super form with ease tells us he's really strong. Super Sonic is literally meant to be invincible. The fact that he stole the Chaos Emeralds, chuckled, and runs off tells us he's not even a friend either, he's an enemy. But there's also a sense of mystery, because who is this guy? Why did Sonic and Tails get attacked? Is he perhaps working with a higher power like Eggman? These are the questions the player will be asking, and it fully immerses them into the game. This opening cutscene alone is brilliant and shows you who the protagonist, the antagonist, their personalities, and the continuities of the protagonist's adventures. So much depth, and I want to reiterate, this is a 1994 Sega Genesis game with no dialogue whatsoever. Despite that, it conveys so much in just about a few seconds. After that opening though, you find Eggman, and again, continuity from the older games, same villain. And then there's really not any big lore drops for a while. It's just Knuckles being annoying and making Tails and Sonic's adventure just inconvenient. As we transition from Sonic 3 to Sonic and Knuckles, again, Knuckles is just up to his usual antics, but that all changes after reaching the Hidden Palace. Knuckles starts by pushing a boulder onto Sonic and Tails as typical of his mischievous behavior, but then Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles come face to face. Knuckles loses to the duo, and then Knuckles begins to run off, but something seems a bit off this time. It turns out, Eggman was behind everything and only used Knuckles as a pawn in order to gain the Master Emerald, an incredibly powerful artifact. Knuckles tries to get Eggman to put it back, but Eggman completely ignores him, so Knuckles resorts to trying to somehow get the Master Emerald off of the machine Eggman has. Sonic and Tails try their best, but Eggman overpowers Knuckles with his electrocution, leaving him without the Master Emerald. However, instead of immediately fighting Sonic and Tails, Knuckles has a change of heart and instead helps Sonic and Tails chase after Eggman to get back the Master Emerald and put a stop to the Doctor's schemes. This plot twist does so many things right. For starters, it communicates that Knuckles has some sort of connection to the Chaos Emeralds or the Master Emerald, since he was very much insistent on not having Eggman take the Master Emerald. Maybe he stole the emeralds because they're his treasured possession. It also presents Eggman as cunning, as we connect the dots that Eggman was the big mastermind of the whole ordeal. And lastly, Knuckles' shift in character is a great way to develop a previously antagonistic character to an ally. Again, we have character development in a 1996 Sega Genesis game with no actual dialogue. After chasing Eggman to space with some assistance from Knuckles, Sonic and Tails take down his mech, but it's not over just yet. Sonic transforms into Super Sonic or Hypersonic to take down Eggman's final mech powered by the Master Emerald. After all is said and done, Sonic returns the Master Emerald to Angel Island, and then he and Tails go off to foreseeable adventures. This is a great conclusion of an intricate yet simple narrative. There's never a moment of confusion with the game's story due to the impeccable narrative and the use of show don't tell. Knuckles especially has great character development in this game. You begin to understand him more as you go, and he's a little gullible, but not necessarily a bad person. He's willing to do anything to protect the Master Emerald because of how significant it is to him and Angel Island. Here's a little bonus since Sonic 3 and Knuckles isn't the only game to have show don't tell. For this, we must travel 8 years into the future to 2002's Sonic Advance 2. Most cutscenes within this game have dialogue, but it's not quite the case for the last two cutscenes for the true ending. Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Cream follow after but are unsuccessful in saving Vanilla. Cream begins to cry, causing Sonic to take matters into his own hands. With the 7 Chaos Emeralds in possession, Sonic transforms into Super Sonic and chases after that entity that has Vanilla captive, piloted by Eggman. Yet again, brilliant storytelling, and just like with Sonic 3, you can watch this single cutscene and understand the entire story. Sonic's personality is wonderfully put on display here too. Sonic doesn't like when his friends get hurt or in distress, so being the hero that he is, Sonic goes to save Vanilla not out of obligation, but because it's the right thing to do. I always love how this cutscene showed Sonic's great sense of justice and integrity. After Super Sonic defeats Eggman, a big capsule holding Vanilla and the Flickies within begins to fall down at breakneck speeds. Sonic tries his hardest to fight back the speed of the capsule to save them both, but he struggles and struggles until the capsule finally breaks, knocking him out of his super form. Vanilla is still falling down though, and Sonic extends his hands to catch her while constantly being blown back by the wind, but he's eventually able to catch her and the day is saved. This cutscene brilliantly demonstrates the great lengths Sonic will go to save others. Sonic puts himself in a dangerous, risky position, yet he was fearless and determined to save Cream's mother, because he's just that guy. Although dialogue is very important in communicating a story of a Sonic game, I love when Sonic games show and don't tell, as it greatly presents the personality of several Sonic characters, such as Knuckles or Sonic himself. Anyways, that's all I have for today. I'll see you all in the next video. Ciao.